Yeah, hello. Is there anything happening?
Hey, actually we're waiting for some more time because we're expecting a few more guys to join. Just give me a few minutes. Good morning and good evening to everyone. Can you guys hear me? And also see my screen? Am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, you are audible. Please.
All right. Okay, so my name is Imran. I'll be taking your DevOps demo today. So these are the goals for today. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to talk about my credibility, why you should trust me as a DevOps trainer. Then I'll talk about why you should learn DevOps. Okay. Then we'll talk about defining DevOps. Okay, like not the definition, but actually defining the DevOps, what it is and why it's required. Okay, and why everybody's crazy about it. Then I'm going to talk about the course, what we're going to cover in this course, the tools and projects that we're going to take. Some amount of security, cloud security, and operating system security, those kind of stuff. And then I'm going to open the session for the Q&A. All right. So. Well, again, my name is Imran. I wear different hats. I'm a DevOps consultant, architect, and a trainer. I do different kinds of training. This is one of them online. I am extremely passionate about automation, cloud and security, and also training. That's why I'm here in training. I've been doing automation from a long time and cloud as well. My recent passion is security anyways. These are few experiences that I had in my past and which I can show it to you. I worked long back with Cisco Systems as a senior cloud and automation engineer. There I worked on virtualization, VMware, AWS OpenStack, and automation with Puppet and Python scripting. Then I have taken all the knowledge and used it in TIPCO softwares. There I worked as DevOps consultant. So I used to consult projects and used to implement DevOps on the projects. There I made few friends in Cisco and TIPCO also, and we like they had some startups. So I also helped them. I worked in few startups to set up the DevOps and CD pipelines for them. I also work as a freelancer. So once I discovered that I can pull all the project by myself, so I also started working as a freelancer. I currently do freelancing for DevOps consulting or training as well. I take different kinds of training for corporate, online, and placement batch also. So these are some certification which I had in my distance past. I'm a person from a very strong infrastructure background. So RHC there, VMware certified professional, is to manage huge VMware cloud. Also manage cloud on OpenStack, okay, in Cisco. I was extremely passionate about scripting, so I did a lot of Python scripting, and I had certification also with EDX. I did a course over there, and last year I did AWS SysOps certification. Okay, well, you'd be wondering why I don't have any DevOps certification. Well, that's because it's not there in the market. Otherwise, I could have done it. Well, you need to do certification. My point is, I work as a consultant and trainer, so I need to have these things, right? Training, as far as my training experience is concerned, I started my training journey when I was in Cisco. I trained on work. I gave training on given training on virtualization, OpenStack, Python scripting, and then I moved to give full-fledged DevOps training to corporate. I have given training for some MNCs and some startups. Currently, I conduct some placement batches where I train people from the scratch, also corporate training, all right, and online, of course. Now, if you're already bored about hearing about myself, I'm going to talk about now why you should learn DevOps before I tell you what is DevOps, okay? Now, I'm not sure whether you're working or not, but generally I tell this to everyone. These are the surveys, so which you can search it yourself on the internet. So DevOps, if you know, it's one of the top skills employers are looking. This is from Business Insider, and you'll find this everywhere. You go to DevOps.com. It's a very popular website for DevOps. You see a lot of companies are implementing DevOps. Everyone wants to do DevOps. I'll come to the point why everyone wants to do. Okay, but also the money is very important factor, right? So it's considered as a, not considered, according to the survey, it's one of the highly paid job if you're situated in US, right? So you must know that some people who are like DevOps consultant and all, they are fetching more than $200,000 per year. Okay, that's huge, I believe. Those are some surveys from Indeed, Glassdoor, and Quora. You can check out yourself. Now, before telling you what DevOps is, I want to tell you the objective of DevOps. The main objective and purpose of DevOps is to make the software delivery efficient and quick. Okay, we work in a software industry where we are responsible in making the software and also delivering the software. Okay, there's a lot of innovation that happened in making the software better and better, but there was always this problem with delivering the software at the right time, delivering the right features at the right time, okay, quickly, efficiently, error-free. Everybody wants to do that, okay, and DevOps gives them the power of delivering it quickly, right, and with less errors and bugs. So definitely everybody would want to do that, and everybody wants to do DevOps, and that's why we see so many DevOps openings. Okay, so why me? There are so many other people also. As I talked about my credibility, I have been doing DevOps for a long time as a consultant, also as a freelancer also. I can tell you how to excel in software delivery, how to make your software delivery the best, world class, okay, by using few tools together, working together jointly. And you should know that companies like Cisco, Google, Microsoft, they've been doing DevOps for a long time. It was not just out yet. E-commerce site like Amazon, Flipkart, these people are delivering their code every day. Hundreds of deployment is happening there by using DevOps. So I'll tell you how that happens in the background. I'll show you how the technologies work together. When you say DevOps, most of the time you must be hearing about Ansible, Jenkins, Docker, Chef, right? So there are so many tools that we use in DevOps, but you should know how to link them together, right, and create a pipeline. So I'll show you how these technologies work together. Okay, not gonna be just overview. I am a very practical guy. This is the slides you are seeing now, but most of the time you'll see me working on the terminal, and definitely you'll be getting a lot of material to practice all those things by yourself. So not going to be just overview, but in depth. Okay, and I have put a lot of efforts there to create those documents and exercises and projects for you, and you're going to get on daily basis, or whenever we complete some code, some tool or project, and you're going to get documents for that, and you can practice it yourself. The training is going to be like 1 or 1.5 hour daily, but you have to try out yourself, which is going to add some extra level of learning and some extra time. Okay. All right. So let me come to the dev part of the DevOps. Now, before I tell you what DevOps is, so the world is moving to DevOps. Okay, everybody wants to do DevOps, right? But we should know from where we have come from to know where we are going. Okay, you should know that. So you must have seen Waterfall. Okay, Waterfall model for software development, right? If you don't know, I'm going to repeat that. So every development, whenever there is any software development that happens, right? So developer generally follows some model, okay, some protocol. I am a client or a customer who wants to develop a software, and I'm going to approach a company if I don't have a team, and there's going to be a lot of developers who can develop your software, but they're going to follow some methodology, okay. And previously the traditional model we call is waterfall model, okay. It's the software development life cycle, which generally developer used to follow, or still there's so many people who are following it. So waterfall model happens in phases, okay. Like let's say I am a client, I have to develop a software, and I come to an organization, and first of all they're going to take requirement, and the requirement gathering will happen, right? The requirement analysis will happen. Once you get the requirement, the analysis will happen. Architect, business analyst will sit together and analyze how they're going to create this particular software, right? That's going to be first phase. So waterfall work in phases. That's the first phase, requirement analysis. Once they analyze, this is what we're going to do and all those things, and the scope for the project, that this is going to take, let's say, 8 to 10 months of time. So I have a very fresh idea in my mind, okay, and that's going to take like 8 to 10 months of time to develop the software. Just a rough example, okay, it could be less or more depending on the software. Then the designing phase starts. Okay, in designing phase, the architects will decide what technologies to use, what tools to use, right, which language to use for coding, what version control to use. Okay, and they'll design the architecture. Okay, once the designing phase is completed, the entire phase gets completed, then the development phase starts. Now in this waterfall model, we have the requirement and we have the design. Now developer will actually develop this software from the scratch, and they're going to develop the entire software, right? Entire software at once, right? Everybody will be working as a team and creating this software, right? So let's say that took around like 5 to 6 months of time. Like we have already lost 1 or 2 months there in requirement analysis and designing, right? Now development has started. That's going to take some time. We develop the entire product, okay? Once the product is completely developed, the next phase is of testing. So the software testers or the QA analysts generally say, they'll analyze, right? They'll deploy the software and they'll test it through their automation script or manually how the software is performing, right? The features are working or not, all those things. Once the complete software is tested fully, then it moves to the maintenance phase where first we deploy it to the production environments or any environment. So the sysadmins or the cloud engineers, security professionals, they'll come in together, they'll take this software, they deploy it to the server, okay, they'll take the requirement from the developers, testers, and they'll deploy it to production systems, and then it will be maintained, okay. So far so good, traditional waterfall model, right, it worked. Now there's so many problems with this model, okay. First of all, idea I had, let's say 8 months ago, that idea was fresh back then, but after 8 months it's not going to be that fresh. Someone else must have thought something similar, deployed it also. People are also started using the beta version, they're already liking it maybe, okay. So by the time 8 to 10 months, my software is little older, the idea is little older, and plus in this 8 to 10 months of time, I wanted to add many features in my product, but because of the strict restriction of these phases and all, I couldn't do that. Even if I tried doing it, the developer, all those things have to follow all this procedure again, which will extend the deadline of the project. Okay, so there are so many issues with this waterfall model, right? And it lacks the feedback loop. So feedback loop is something, when the owner or the customer sees the product, gives the feedback, want to change this thing, want to add few more things, you want to do that, you have to repeat the entire process again. Okay. Again, if the implementation takes a very long time in design, like development takes a long time, so testing and the verification has to be done very quickly, to complete the deadline. So your product won't be completely tested sometimes. When it goes to the maintenance phase, the system admins will have lots of issues while deploying this. Okay. Now there are so many cons for waterfall model, and there's a very famous joke, if you know. Okay. I'm not going to go through it just now. Well, around 2009 and all, there's Agile model which people started adopting instead of waterfall model. Well, in Agile, again, we develop the software, but here the methods are different. Okay, if you talk about any software or any product, all right. Well, I'm taking some time here because this will make very clear in few slides that why DevOps and how DevOps is so important in this. Okay, so be patient there. Okay. So an agile model, if we talk about any software, any product, right? Any product is actually list of features. Okay, you take example of Facebook, right? You have like notification feature, you have chatting feature, you have post, images, tagging. These are features of any product, right? Or of Facebook. Like that, every product, if you talk, it's just list of features, right? If you create or if you write all those features, you get the entire product. So agile model works in iteration. So instead of developing the entire software at once, from the feature list, all the list we take, and from that we take a small amount. Let's say we have 100 features of a website. We just take the 10 features. Okay, the 10 features we plan how we are going to deploy that, how we are going to create it, develop it, right? Then we test only those 10 features, right? We deploy it. Right? If there is any feedback, and there is also going to be feedback loops here. So customer will have demos and all those things. The customer will check how are these 10 features looking. If customer has any feedback, customer will give it, and that can be moved to the next iteration. So you have like these iterations. So let's say I'm just taking a rough example. We have 10 features that we want to develop, right? So that takes like around 1 or 2, maybe depending on the size of the iteration, 1 week or 2 weeks. Okay, so we develop that 10 features in first iteration. So like that, we do the 10 iterations and we have the entire software ready. Maybe it took the same time, but here the product is well tested. Okay, already tested, already deployed to the servers. Customers have given a lot of feedbacks, and there was so many improvement that happened. So at the end, when you have the new product which is ready, it's going to be well tested product, okay, analyzed and latest in the market. All right, with all the latest features. Okay, that works very good in the current environment where we have so much of competition. You have so many apps that you use in your mobiles also, right? If somebody is giving a good feature, you move to that particular app. Okay, so once the product gets developed, if you want to add new features, you can again follow the same model, iterate over it, okay, develop it, evaluate it, deploy it. So this is going to be iterations, continuous iterations. So you compare with agile, compare it with waterfall. There you have phases. Here you have iterations. In any new innovation in the technology also, you can add it over there. Okay, you can increase the number of feature that you want to develop or reduce it depending on the requirements. Very flexible. The word agile means quick. Okay, quickly. So quickly developing 10 features, you have less thing to worry about, less thing to work on. All right. This is very good for development. Okay, very well. All right. But what about the delivery? When you deploy it, when the deployment phase comes, now you have sysadmins and cloud engineers and security professionals, right? Who is going to take those 10 features, going to deploy to the server? Now in older model, we have very less deployments. Now here every 2 weeks, let's say, 2 weeks is the iteration. Every 2 weeks we have to deploy it. Every 2 weeks. Now, if the product is already in the production, again you have iterations, you deploy new features. That means new changes in the infrastructure, okay, which is not good for the stability. Okay, if you have changes, you have to compromise on stability. So you have a lot of pressure on operations team, plus there's going to be a lot of issues. So developers want change and operations want stability. Now, these two different teams have two different mottos. Okay, we adopted agile, but operations want stability. They'll take time to deploy your code. Okay, they're going to check it, verify it, take a downtime, which is not so good. We are developing the features quickly, but it's not getting delivered. Okay, and that's where we have problem, delivery. Okay, so developer will simply, this is my artifact, just throw it over the wall. Okay, and operations team has to deploy it, follow the document, which is not so good. There's a lot of wall of confusion and there's a blame game that starts. Okay, if it is not working, the operations team will complain saying that, there's something wrong with the code. Developer will say, well, my code is good, it works on my machine, it's not working on your server. That means the problem is the operation. Okay, so this is happening from a long time. I have witnessed it in so many companies. Okay, there's always this wall of confusion, and literally both the teams hate each other. Okay, so how do we resolve this problem? Okay, the delivery is not happening. We're generating new features, but delivery is slow. Okay, and for that, DevOps to the rescue. All right, so DevOps is like the Superman, right? You are in a problem, delivery is the problem. Come there, help you create the delivery pipeline. Anytime you have a new change, it quickly goes to the production environment by doing all the tests, and everything is happening. It goes through so many phases. Okay, and everything is automated there. Okay, so we have seen waterfall model, we have seen agile model. Now we'll see DevOps model. Next slide. Okay, but before you create the DevOps pipeline, you have to break the wall and establish the communication and collaboration. Okay, now in an agile team, you have developers and testers who work together, okay, to create the software, but there is nobody who can talk about the delivery, how problematic it's going to be when you want to deliver this feature. So in initial phase itself, from the kickoff of the project, you have operations team there sitting with the developers, testers, and DB admins and architects. Okay, and once they start talking about the development of the code, operations will talk about the infrastructure. So this collaboration has to be established. This communication integration should happen. Have to break the wall. That is the first step. Okay, now the motto is to create a DevOps SDLC, software development lifecycle. Right, till now we had SDLC for Waterfall SDLC, Agile SDLC. Now it's going to be DevOps SDLC. Okay, so we already seen in Agile. See here, plan, okay, code and build, iterations, right? Quick iterations. Now, once you code and you build it, you should also test it. All right. So testing of the code, testing of the unit test cases. There's so many different types of test cases in continuous integration. So plan, code, build and test in iterations. Every time you have a new code, that should be built and tested. Every code, every time got checked in, should be built and tested. That is continuous integration. Why it's continuous? Because your iterations are continuous. So continuously you have to test your code. Okay. Now the code is tested. Now you need to deploy this to some environment, test it over there, and then only once it is certified, then only you can release it. Okay. So once you want to do that, you have to set up a continuous delivery pipeline. Okay. After creating the artifact, you deploy it to the servers, QA servers, staging servers. Okay. Everything will be automated. Okay. Now the next phase, that is deploy to the production. Here deploy means to the production environments. Okay, where real-time users are going to use it. Okay, so you create this entire pipeline. Okay, from plan to operate. You deploy and you also operate. Now that is DevOps. And to do that, you have to do a lot of collaboration and communication with developers, testers, and DB architects. Okay, DevOps is going to be one team who is going to develop and deliver both at the same time. It's not going to be you develop the code, one team develops the code, the other team delivers it. No, it's going to be one team, right? The entire team who is going to work on the development and also for the delivery. Okay? And collaboration is highly important. Okay? This is a very famous diagram of DevOps life cycle, okay, which is a continuous loop. Continuous again, why? Because you have a lot of iteration, continuously you're going to develop new features that has to be put into some version control system. So here there are some tools, okay, I tried to put some tools over here, okay, so just to make it a little clear. So developers, testers, the DevOps team, everyone, okay, plans, they create the code, put it into Git, that has to be pulled, that has to be built and tested, so that we're going to do through tools like Jenkins, which is a very famous continuous integration tool, which can use other tools, build tools like Maven, MS Build or Ant, and can build your code and can also test the code with some other test plugins like Checkstyle and other plugins. Once it's tested, okay, and software is versioned, it can be released. Okay, released where? Maybe you have instances on AWS, Amazon Web Services. Okay, you deploy, you have servers there, you're going to deploy your code there, Amazon Web Services. And to deploy those things, well, there could be one, there could be 100 servers. Okay, so if you have a lot of instances where you need to deliver the code, then you cannot do it manually. It's going to be very painful procedure. You have to use some automation there again. So you can do that with Ansible, which is the latest hot favorite of everyone. Okay, configuration management tool. Or you can use Chef, you can use Puppet, or you can use any scripting language. Okay. Once it is deployed, it has to be monitored. So we can use monitoring tools like Nagios or AWS CloudWatch. Well, why monitor? Very important. Once you already got a lot of feedback from the customer, you worked on the developers, sorry, not you, developers worked on the code, they make it better every time they get the feedback. But once you deploy, deliver it to some servers, you should also get feedback from the infrastructure. Feedback like, you deploy the code and CPU utilization went high. You should quickly get a notification saying the CPU is high, there is some issue. Okay, so we'll work together and fix that problem. Okay, or maybe once it's operated and you need to there'll be so many things, disk space issues, okay, low disk space, or memory going, memory is totally exhausted, database, you need to monitor all those services continuously all the time. Okay, and that's why you see so many tools. Okay, so this is one more diagram you see over here of a DevOps life cycle, okay, which is the same thing. Again, I tried to put some tools over there. Right hand side you see that continuous loop, okay. Left hand side you see the entire procedure, entire DevOps life cycle. So see, it's not anything else, this is the only motto of DevOps, to create this life cycle. To create this life cycle you need to use a lot of tools. Okay, so centralized version control system where developers will put their code, where you will put your automation code, okay, being DevOps. So we're going to use Git in this course where we'll see how to put the code at a centralized place. Now Jenkins we'll use as a tool for continuous integration, which will fetch the latest changes, we'll run some test cases, we'll build the artifacts. Artifact means deployable software. A software, once you do the build procedure, you get some artifact. There's a ready-made software which you can deploy to the servers, or you can give it for the user to use it. Okay, it's just another name for the software. Why we call it artifact, we'll see in the course. Okay, you version it and you need to store it at some centralized place. Okay, all your version software, like you must have downloaded a lot of software in your life, right? So all this software has some versions. Okay, you download Firefox or Chrome or whatever, yeah, it has some version, version 32, version 8 dot something. So all this version software would be located at some centralized place where users are downloading from. Okay, so we're going to use Nexus Sonatype for that, Sonatype Nexus for that, to store the artifact, to store the softwares, all the version softwares. And to provision the environment, we'll use AWS, or we also use some virtualization tools. Okay, to deploy our artifact to n number of servers and to provision those servers, we can use Ansible, Chef. Okay, And this has to be done on dev environment, QA environment, staging environment, and also on the production environment. Okay. So this is the entire continuous deployment. Okay, you see on my screen. So if I start from push code and I go till storing the artifact, right, till Nexus, that is continuous integration. Okay, continuously the code is getting built and tested and versioned. Okay, that is continuous integration. If I go few more steps from push code to the last line you see till the staging environment. If you are deploying your code till the staging environment, automated, okay, no manual intervention, then that is continuous delivery. Okay, if it's happening directly to the production environment, well, what I mean by that is, a developer writes a new feature, push into the Git repository. Well, by following all the steps automated, it goes to the production environment where users are using it real time. Okay, that is called as continuous deployment. Okay, and that's what a lot of organizations are doing currently. Like, not a lot of, I mean, like big companies, right? Like Google, Cisco, Microsoft, Flipkart, Flickr, so many companies, right, who are continuously delivering the code, deploying the code in production environment. Okay, hundreds of deployments happening per day. Okay, and they're following this life cycle. Okay, so now I'll talk about the definition. You must have heard a lot of definition about the DevOps. Okay, this is my personal favorite. Okay, well, why you have not many and why this is my personal favorite? Well, see, DevOps is not governed by some central organization. Okay, so people are following. It's a culture, they say. Okay, DevOps is a culture. So culture is not governed by any central organization, right? Like if you talk about some software that will be owned by some vendor, some provider, right? Like Red Hat and all those things. But here nobody owns DevOps. So you have a lot of definition. Okay, some people also claim that DevOps is everything. Okay, but you need to take a break there. And DevOps is actually a philosophy or a culture of unifying development and operations team. You unify both the teams together at culture, practice, and tools level. Okay, culture could be agile. In agile, you have other things like Scrum, Kanban, so many things. Okay, so we follow one culture. Now, previously Dev have a different culture and Ops has a different culture. Dev, quick changes, Ops, stability. Now, the culture should be quick changes and plus the stability. Okay, and with that comes a lot of practices that you need to follow, which I'm going to discuss in the course in detail. Tools, of course, this course is mostly about tools, right? You're going to learn lots and lots of tools here, but you should also understand this culture and practices. That's what completes the DevOps actually. Okay, just the tools is not the DevOps. Okay, tools I've been using from a very long time, all the automation tools, but that time we were not doing that, like that level of DevOps. So tools is going to be shared tools. Okay, like all the tools that I discussed, Git, Jenkins, Ansible, Chef, Puppet, Docker, both the teams are going to use the same tools, okay, to deliver the software. All right, so if you have any question or concern regarding DevOps, what it is, you can ask me now. All right, so if you don't have any questions now, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay.
Yeah, we are listening to you.
Okay, oh, great. Okay, so if you have idea about what DevOps is and this is what real DevOps is, the whole objective and aim of the DevOps is to create that pipeline. Okay, so tools help us create those pipeline, right? So now about this course. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this course. So in DevOps, people come from different backgrounds. Okay, you have sysadmins, you have storage guys, cloud developers, testers. I have trained like Microsoft .NET developers also. Okay, to become a DevOps person, DevOps engineer or consultant. So people come from different backgrounds. So, but DevOps is more about delivering the code, right? And we deliver it to the infrastructure. So you need to understand the infrastructure first of all. Okay, so I'm going to train from the ground zero, like from the operating system Linux. Okay, you'll ask me why Linux? Well, you've seen so many tools in the previous slide. Most of the tools run only on Linux. Okay, and most of the time you will witness Linux servers only. Okay, I'm not saying that you don't have Microsoft. Of course you have Microsoft, but it's not so many things is going to be changed. Okay, you can use the same methods and same knowledge and do it on a Microsoft environment also. Okay, so I'm going to talk from the very basic Linux initially. Okay, and then as I said, it's not going to be just overview. Okay, I am a very technical guy, so I'm going to teach you in depth about the tool, how to deploy the tool from the scratch, how to create the instances, install the software, set up the tool, and start coding or start using that tool. There's going to be document for practicing every tool, whatever tool I'm going to discuss. You will get document for everything. Okay, so whatever I do here, you should be able to do the same thing on your system. If you have any question and concern, I'm opening a Facebook group. Okay, maybe in 2 days, because I tried with I had another blog, but because of some reason, infrastructure problem, it's not performing very well. So I'm going to create a Facebook group very soon. So you have any question, you can concern while practicing, you can post it. And I have like a lot of students who can answer to your questions. So if they're not able to answer, I'm going to answer. Okay, I have been doing DevOps for a long time, so I know the real-time use cases, which tool you need to use, which place, where exactly, okay, why you should use that tool, okay, in real time, how are you going to deal with the scenarios, okay, which you get. Some real-time projects, I couldn't find the right word, real-time project, that means, in real time how you're going to do it, okay, similar way I have designed the projects. So the same project that I did, okay, I changed it, customized it, okay, as per the lab environments, and I'll showcase over here, show it to you, and you'll get a document to practice. If you're interested into more exercises and assignments and some R&D work, I would definitely give it to you, okay. I do it for the placement batch, but in here, you need to ask me, okay, about these exercises and assignment, because that takes a lot of time. If you're already working, I don't know if you can spend that much time. Okay, and if you're interested into interview questions, I have a lot of them. Okay, I have lots and lots of interview questions about every tool and DevOps and everything all in once. Okay, I also take a lot of interviews, so I know what questions to ask. And there's so many people, students who go there, attend interview, they also give me a lot of questions. So I have a huge database now. Okay, so about tools, so I am gonna take it into different steps, 5 steps actually. First step, first week, you will just understand the basics of Linux, okay, and some server management, okay, how to manage Apache server and few other servers, okay, how to manage the Linux servers. Then I'll talk about a little bit of networking, basic networking, which is really important once we move to the next level of cloud computing. Networking is really required there. You need to understand networking, otherwise you will be lost, okay. Virtualization, so we are gonna learn a lot of tools here, and to practice those tools, you're gonna need virtual machines. So either you can create your own virtual machine manually, but I'm gonna teach you one tool which is called as Vagrant, which automates the virtual machines. You don't need to create any virtual machines manually. Okay, Vagrant I use day-to-day life, not only for training, but also if I write some code or if I write some tool or something, then I quickly create virtual machine, I test my code there, okay, and then I move it to the next level, okay, in the real time. So you can use virtualization and Vagrant and VirtualBox combination, and you can test everything whatever we do in the labs, okay. You can run your own lab in your system, okay. You can have Windows, Linux, MacBook, all fine, okay. We can do it on any system. Next, we're going to move to the cloud computing, and specifically AWS. Why AWS? It is very famous, that we already know, but it is also very innovative and has lots and lots of features compared to any other cloud provider. Okay, I've been using AWS for a very long time, never disappointed. Okay, I have used OpenStack, not only used it, deployed on data centers, which is private cloud. but AWS is like way ahead of anything else in the market currently, at least. Okay, and a lot of users and a lot of people use AWS. So we're gonna learn cloud computing through AWS. In AWS, this is complete AWS SysOps. Okay, if you know AWS SysOps course, where they train you on EC2, which is like creating virtual machines on the cloud, VPC, which is networking on the cloud, RDS for database, S3 for file storage. Okay, CloudWatch is a monitoring tool in AWS. We'll learn that also. Route 53 is a DNS service from AWS, and then two more tools, Beanstalk and OpenStack. Beanstalk and OpsWorks. This is a DevOps tools, DevOps services, I should say, in AWS, which we'll see. And OpsWorks we're going to take very late at the end because that needs some chef knowledge. Okay, so complete AWS SysOps we're going to learn in the next week. And I have document for each and everything, whatever you see on my screen over here, so you should be able to practice yourself in your own account. All right? Well, the majority of your work is going to be automation and configuration management, and for that we have tools like Ansible, Puppet, Chef for configuration management. Okay, automation, you can simply think it of as automation. Okay, I'm not going to talk any more detail about this because there's so many things that opens up here. Jenkins, which is the most favorite continuous integration tool of any build and release engineer, and that's the first step we should learn in DevOps. So we're going to talk about a lot of Jenkins. We'll have some projects there in the Jenkins. Then we'll integrate Jenkins with Ansible, and we'll see how to do continuous deliveries. Okay, so complete automation and orchestration. Okay, with tools like Ansible and Puppet, multi-stack deployments. And also troubleshooting. If something goes wrong, how do you troubleshoot it? All right. Then the fourth step, containerization. So if you're aware about Docker, you'll understand what this slide is talking about. If you don't know, I'm not going to talk in detail about this anything. Okay. We're going to use Docker for containerization, Docker Compose, microservice architecture. I'm going to talk about microservice architecture, what it is, and how Docker and container helps do that. Then there is a tool called Kubernetes from Google, which is a cluster management for containerization. Okay, if you don't know these things, right? So just, hold it for now. We're going to deal all this in detail. So a lot of containerization also. And Docker, as I say to everyone, is going to change the entire IT industry now. Everything is going to change now. Even the development, delivery, everything will change. The DevOps lifecycle also will have so many new things added there. Okay. This is the next big thing in IT industry. Then we have a few more tools like Git. We're going to learn. Okay, for versioning of your code. Nagios for monitoring. I have a small tool called Monit. Okay, which monitors the service and restarts the service automatically. Nexus, as I discussed, for hosting your softwares, and SonarQube for checking your, it's a dashboard for checking code of the quality. Okay. I'm also going to talk about security and high availability. Okay, in this course, somewhere in the middle and also at the end. The last two lines you see over there are going to take some more time. So, but high availability and some amount of security will be definitely there. You need to know how to secure your environment, how to secure your cloud instances, your environment. So I'm going to, most of the time you'll see talking me about, how to keep this safe, how to keep that safe. And at the end of the course, I'll have a 1 or 2 day session. We'll talk about how to protect yourself from hackers, crackers, and a little bit about offensive security. Okay, and this needs all the knowledge, whatever we gather in the course. At the end, we're gonna talk about high availability also. Okay, highly available websites, how it is designed, how it works. All right. So project. So I have like 3 projects for this. Continuous delivery project, which will include AWS, Git, Jenkins, Nexus, Ansible, and Tomcat. So we'll use all these tools and create a continuous delivery pipeline. You'll see how that works. So all the tools working together. While I talk about Puppet, I'm also going to do the project there itself. We'll show you how to do it. We're going to do a LAMP stack deployment. If you know LAMP stack, Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. Okay, so how to manage multiple operating system with Puppet. All right. And while we learn Jenkins, we'll also do a project there itself. We'll create a continuous integration pipeline, and we'll also deliver the code. Okay, and we do this in AWS, and some more AWS services like Beanstack will be included here. Okay, so that would be all. At the end, I'll talk about troubleshooting. I have a troubleshooting guide that I prepared because I see so many people get issues while doing the projects and code analysis and all those things. So, and accessing the cloud instances, right? So I'm going to talk about the troubleshooting at the very end. Okay, finding the problem and resolving that problem all by yourself. Okay, I'm going to give you a guide, troubleshooting guide, which will help you understand any access problem, the remote access problem. All right, and that would be all from the course side. You know now what all we're going to cover. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can ask me now.
Hi Imran, this is Abhijit.
Hey Abhijit.
Yeah, hi. So thanks for your time, because it's really helpful for me to understand overview exactly what DevOps is and how we can use it in our career path. But
Right.
just for my concern, because I am
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking.
core Linux infrastructure service man. Sorry. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah. Now I am.
Hello.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So as I am a Linux infrastructure service engineer in my present organization, so
Okay.
how can I start with a DevOps profile, and how I can get my path into a DevOps profile, and how it will be helpful for my future career perspective? Can you give a quick idea of that? Because here I am seeing that you have come up with different tools and applications, a whole lot of things. So how helpful it will be giving one-to-one tool experience and work on that. Yeah, please.
See, if you are working as a Linux sysadmin or engineer, it's highly recommended for you to move quickly and learn all the automation tools, because everything is there's not going to be any manual work so far I see. Okay, if we have to automate everything, so first step is for you is to learn all the automation tools. Okay, and then understanding the DevOps pipeline and implementing it. How it's helpful for your career, which I already discussed in the first slide. Okay, why learn DevOps? First of all, the good money, of course, but see, from here on, from the DevOps, the world will be quickly moved to no ops. Okay, when I talk about AWS, you will see there. When I move to the AWS, you'll see there are so many software as a service which doesn't need any operations, don't need servers. Okay, AWS is going to manage it for you. Okay, so you create the continuous delivery pipeline, you automate everything, and you see how to use those services, which is highly important, because otherwise the world will be quickly moved to the DevOps, and from DevOps to no ops. I have started my journey as a system admin, a Linux engineer, a core Linux engineer. Okay, and from there I went to virtualization, cloud computing, complete automation, and then to DevOps. And that should be a right career track for a Linux admin currently.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
It's included how many days of training?
See, to be very frank, I don't count days, but generally around 45 days, 40 to 45 days. Okay.
If we miss any class, how we can get it those?
See, if you miss a class, you need to send an email prior or after. You'll get the video and also the document. But you need to send an email, okay?
And this is Rajkumar.
Hey, Rajkumar.
Yeah, actually, we need to do some practice on our laptop. So
Right.
you said one machine is there, Vagrant something.
See, Vagrant is an automation tool to create virtual machines.
Okay. So suppose we need to do practice on off time when the classes are not there. Suppose some Puppet implementation we had done. We had written some manifest code and something. So we need to check the code and we need to do the practice. How we can do these things and where we can get the software and all those things.
See, okay, first I'll talk about the software. So what are softwares I'm going to use is going to be open source free, so you won't have any problem downloading it from the internet. I'm going to talk, in the document you'll have the download steps and everything. As far as the lab is concerned to practice, you can practice in your computer, your laptop itself with Vagrant and VirtualBox, or you can do it on AWS. Okay, I recommend to do it on AWS. Okay, but for that you need to create your own account. I'll show you how to sign up accounts and all those things. So you have two ways where you do, two places where you can practice, either your own system or on AWS. Okay, and you'll have the documents and code and everything which you can just go ahead and start practicing yourself.
So suppose I need to configure all those things on my own system. So some troubleshooting and something support will be required. So from where we can get these things?
So as I said, Facebook group, you'll get the Facebook group name. You can join there and you can post any questions or concerns you have while practicing, and I will or any other students will reply to that. Okay, or
is there any chance to directly call to you at the off time, whatever you recommended your time?
No. Actually, I am extremely busy and I won't be attending calls.
No, I'm not saying that your busy time. Any time as you recommend on that time.
Okay, see, there's not going to be any direct contact between you and me except through Facebook profile, through Facebook group. That's only going to be the direct contact. Okay, if you want, you can send an emails also to Visualpath, and they can also forward me. That happens. Most of the students, they want some question, concern, they have something, off the topic, on the topic, they send email, and they forward it to me, and I revert it back.
Okay, so we can get that all video recorded video at the completion of this classes and all.
I'm not sure. You need to check the organizer about every recording, but if you miss something or something like that happens, not able to join because of some problem, then definitely you'll get the videos, but I'm not sure about all the videos.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah, Imran. Hi, Abhijit this side again.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, Imran. Hi, Abhijit this side again. So just a small query, because you have come up with so many tools. So so you are going to give exposure on all those tools?
Yes, all the tools. That's why I have put it in my slide. Like, see, I don't believe in just overview. All the tools, using it, okay, doing it, implementing it, okay, not just overview.
Okay. And you are suggesting to use AWS other than OpenStack? Is there a specific reason for that? Because anyhow,
see, I said, see, you can practice on anywhere, in your VM, in OpenStack, AWS, Rackspace, anywhere. AWS specifically, I'm telling, just for one reason, that while you practice on AWS, side by side, you learn also AWS. If you have any problem, issues you come up with, okay, you resolve it there, and you learn also like that. So whatever tools we are going to use, we are going to learn, right? We are going to use those tools also for our learning purposes.
Right. I agree. So anyhow, so AWS will be a paid service, right? Means if I want to use.
I'm gonna show you how to use it freely, or with a very minimum charge, like $1 or something. That's all.
Okay,
you can use it freely. Whatever we do in this course, you can practice everything on AWS. This is going to be free to very minimum charge. Okay, which I'm sure everybody will be agreeing. But still, if you don't want to use AWS, then you can still practice anywhere. But AWS, to learn AWS also, you need to create an account, sign up a free account, and you can learn there.
Okay, oh, great. So as you said that it is more or less 45 days of course. So yeah. Is it means everyday course, or is a weekly basis course? How it is?
It's, I believe, every day, like 5 days a week.
Okay.
Totally. You will be getting the timing and all those things after the demo, I believe, maybe by this weekend or something. I think it's going to start from coming Monday.
Okay.
Okay, 1 or 1.5 hour daily, like that. So please check with them again. I'll definitely get a notification when it's going to start, what time. It's going to be not on weekend, it's going to be weekly, Monday to Friday.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Thank you. Thank you, Imran.
No problem. Any more concerns, questions, anything? Alright then, so if you don't have any question, I consider this done, and please let us know through email how you're going to join, what time and all those things, okay? So that would be all from my side. If you still have any questions or concern, you can send email to Visualpath. Alright? Have a great day and night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.